Hi everyone, we're back again.
Hi guys.
Today we just wanted to talk to you about a single perfume, which we sometimes do, and it's a first impression for me. I've never smelled this, but it's by a guy that we've both loved a lot of stuff, Antonio Gardoni. He's done T-Rex, he's done Mem, he's done Mai, he's done Eon, which I've never smelled. He's done something else, like a number thing, which I can't remember.
Lots of really creative, beautifully put together fragrances.
He's at the forefront of sort of this.
But they're always
business,
really interesting. And so when I saw he had a new fragrance out, and there was a kind of sort of a crowdfunder where you could pre-order the fragrance, I decided to go ahead and pre-order Douleur. So this is a collaboration with a tattoo artist, I think, called Freddie Albrighton. I don't know if it's
Albrighton or something.
Albrighton, yeah, that's it. Let me spray it for Joe.
I have no idea what to expect.
I've
not even read anything.
I'm just going to say that I've had this for a few weeks. It's not yet been kind of officially released, but I've had it for a few weeks, and I can't completely make my mind up about it. So I'm going to spray it for Joe and see what he thinks.
I'm getting like friendly cade oil, if there is such a thing. Thank you.
So I'll just let you sniff a bit. Yeah. So this is a kind of a pre-release. So I've got this little grey top bottle, and I think he's waiting to have some bright pink lids produced before he can release it en masse. So what he did is on Instagram, he kind of advertised this by week, announcing some of the notes. And I saw there were notes such as candy floss, melon, blood, flesh, benzoin, iris, and I just saw this.
Yeah, it's obviously a very classical structure from the traditional days of
obviously
perfume.
It's a really safe, office-friendly fragrance.
I actually really like it.
Joe?
I really like it. You have to remember, I'm someone that likes and loves, in fact, Breath of God, and have recently bought vintage bottles of Inhale and Exhale, which are the two fragrances that make it up. And I kind of like the cacophony of things that are going on here.
See,
I'm definitely candy floss. Definitely, I'm getting that candy floss sweetness.
I was sure that when I first opened the bottle, and I don't know if this was kind of just something I had got in my head, but I was sure I could smell the rose oxide, which I recognised from T-Rex, which was the blood, of course.
Yeah, there's a DNA link going on here for sure.
Yeah. And that was the kind of first thing that struck me. And then you spray it, and you get this kind of mint and melon initially. What are you getting?
I'm getting a sort of weird thing, which is.
I think weird is fair.
It's like I'm getting like also sort of juicy fruit chewing gum.
Yeah, I think that kind of that's the melony.
But like an animalic juicy fruit. So I'm getting if imagine juicy fruit, but with the slight fecal thing that you're getting under the lavender in Mem.
It does smell good though, doesn't it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's really good.
It is.
It's really weird, but I find it really appealing. I would not, if that was on my skin, I would not be able to stop smelling that throughout the day to find things.
I think that's when I've worn it over the last few. I mean, because I've had this for a while. I've probably had it for nearly a month, and I've only worn it 3, maybe 4 times. And I think I quite like bold fragrances, but this is one when I was kind of choosing to out, especially over the late kind of end of the summer when it's hot. I thought maybe I won't wear this one if it's going to be hot. I'm going to be around other people. But when I have worn it on a cooler days, I've really enjoyed like delving into it on myself. But maybe I've been a bit prudish. I've been a bit self-confident about lacking self-confidence in kind of wearing it out amongst people.
Maybe you're responding to what you're smelling. You're never right or wrong with that, I think.
So far, I've only really worn this for myself, not as a fragrance to wear out and about.
It's this slight animalic fecal sex thing going on underneath things that you would not normally associate it with.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you've kind of got this melony, like you were saying, like hubba bubbery, chewing gummy, minty kind of quality, which is very kind of clean and fresh and playful and bright and happy. There's something quite dark and serious and moody about it.
I think, you know, when once upon a time you described to me,
Lots of mint. I get loads of mint.
yeah,
Loads of
really is a lot of mint. When you described Cape Heartache by Imaginary Authors as like, you know, a coming of age sort of thing,
Yeah.
with some burly lumberjack, yeah,
And some 16-year-old girl with, or
That's the
a young
thing.
girl with like this kind of cherry chapstick lipstick. Yeah.
I'm getting all this kind of stuff. I'm getting some sort of youthful playfulness, but then some coming of age thing. It's quite a sort of real. It's actually quite a moving fragrance. I know that sounds really weird.
Is it that, or is it just like a kind of wild night out?
Well, it could totally be.
Yeah, is it like
It's
a whole
completely
night
open.
out of kind of like getting dressed up, like going for cocktails, going for mojitos or whatever, like, and then
It all
yeah,
goes
starting
very
off fresh,
wrong,
and it
or
all
very
gets
right.
a bit dark and dirty, and maybe even a bit bloody by the end of the night.
It is Newcastle on a Friday night, isn't it? No, but I mean seriously, all those kind of poppy smells, like you say, maybe you're having like some mojitos, you're wearing hairspray, you're wearing, everyone's wearing their fragrance. Probably not wearing the fragrances we would wear on a night out, but they're wearing the fragrances. But there's this animalic undertone. There's a bit of danger. There's a bit of unknowing, a bit of uncertainty.
Yeah, it gets a bit sweaty, gets a bit fighty, gets a bit skin on skin.
Oh, do you know, I'm a really big fan. I didn't think, because obviously Dan and I talk a lot about fragrances, and you didn't really describe it much to me, but I just got the sense that it wasn't something that was wowing you. Because sometimes you'll be like, oh my God, this has blown my mind. But I kind of got the sense you were just intrigued and you hadn't made up your mind.
It's interesting because, you know, as we said, we've loved a lot of Antonio Gardoni's fragrances before, and even T-Rex, which is quite bold and weird, I kind of felt I understood that. I could kind of see the story.
It sort of fits the brief, doesn't it?
Maybe because I understood, I could get on with it, whereas this, I can't quite understand it.
But I think that's the beautiful challenge. I think.
But the things in it are beautiful and they're intriguing, and it is interesting to just wear and just kind of delve into it. And maybe I need to be a bit braver to just go out and, you know, wear it.
I mean, also, there's not a lot gone from the bottle there. I can see that sort of thing when the bottle is a little bit further down, and it's had a few more months of opening up, and all the things that would be the rich sort of resinous aspects coming more to play.
Yeah.
I can see that thing like being a real grower.
Yeah.
It's appealing in the same way that things like Zing are appealing, like things that just would never go together. As a perfume, in terms of straight up perfume, I think it's like chaotic. But I think he's not set out to do some elegantly blended thing.
Yeah, but the quality is definitely there.
The quality for sure.
And
the juxtaposition of notes is such that I think one day you're going to get hit by that, the next day you'll be aware of that, so you won't notice it so much, but that thing will come out.
Which I think you do get, you know, with something like Mem, which is basically an aromatic lavender. You do get, some days I get a kind of hay feel, some days it just feels like lavender, sometimes it goes straight to animalic. It just feels different, or I perceive it differently if it's different weather and a different atmosphere. But this, it just feels all that ramped up a bit.
I really like it though. I really like it. I think it's like a sort of animalic sort of teeny bopper.
Yeah.
A lot of multicolored punk imagery coming into my head. I kind of want to wear. Do you know those T-shirts back in the 90s that when you blew on them or you breathed on them, that they would change colour?
What are they called? The heat.
Yeah, like hypercolour.
Hypercolour, yeah.
Those things. I remember thinking they were the height of fashion. But there's something in here I'm getting of that it's a sort of slightly trippy.
I know what you mean. It's kind of like wild, kind of like punky.
Yeah.
It is a really interesting fragrance.
It's really interesting.
There's no two ways about it.
I think hats off for doing something that creative and interesting. I'd like to see how it evolves in the bottle as well. If it changes much, if different things come to the fore. It's not. I mean, it's not going to be a crowd pleaser. I think even to the sort of frag heads who are like big on their weird and wacky things, it may not be an instantly appealing thing. I don't know.
But it is one for people who are interested in scent and interested in fragrance, I think.
Try it. Is it coming to the UK?
I don't know. I mean, it hasn't been kind of formally released yet. This was one of just the pre-release bottles, and I think, as I said, it's going to have a pink cap eventually. But then hopefully we'll see it in the UK in places like Bloom.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
stockist, isn't it?
But if you have tried
I
it,
really like
because I know there are other people like me who will have pre-ordered it to smell it. So if you have tried it, let us know your thoughts.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just really interesting. I can't quite put my finger on it. Normally I can say
Yeah.
I'm getting this and this and this. All I'm getting in this are images. I can't really identify any
But it is making you
perfumery
think.
notes. It's making me think, it's giving me pictures. It's giving me pictures
Yeah.
and images. Which
It's
I
fun.
love. Yeah.
So until
Brilliant.
next time, happy
Enjoy.
sniffing.
Bye.